When you think of these 1,200-pound vehicles made of space-age, super-light materials, cast iron does not often come to mind. But there is one area where this ancient, heavy metal still works best: the 4 disc brakes at each corner of the car. And do they work? Pulling over 2.3 Gs, a driver can de-accelerate from 180 miles an hour to 50 in just over 260 feet. This is a loss of 130 miles an hour in about 2.6 seconds, a fraction of the time and distance that it would take to gain that much speed. The biggest problem at this level of friction is heat. If it was dark while watching a car perform such maneuvers, you could see a streak of orange glow lighting up the entire wheel as the disc turned red hot. On-track operating temperatures reach 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit, and a full set of extra hard pads disappear in only 200 miles. Your road car pads should last 20 to 30,000, so the air cooling system becomes a top priority. The other difficulty is having all the pads grip the disc at the same time. If 2 calipers are used per disc, you have 16 pads that must work together. One major premature or late grab could send the car wildly out of control. The perfection of disc brakes in racing has led to the system being widely used by the car manufacturers. Let's look at the racing setup. Now, when the driver pushes on the brake pedal, it activates these master cylinders where brake fluid is pumped through the steel lines out into the caliper. The caliper is what actually houses the brake pads, and these pads push on the disc, causing the de-acceleration or braking. That's where the friction comes in. Tremendous heat building up on this brake disc. The only way to cool it is by air. As you can see, it's hollow, ventilated. The design inside pumps air on the inside and out, trying to cool it as best as possible before the next corner. You get a little extra boost of air from this brake duct. At high speed, a ram air effect going through here and channeled down into the center of the ventilated disc. More air you can get through that disc, the faster they're going to cool. A set of discs like this costs about $450, and they're only good for one race. Simon Arkless of AP Racing, why do you go up and down the pit row putting psychedelic colors on all the discs?
Well, this is to ensure that the brake pads and the discs are all working at their optimum temperature. And this enables us to keep a check on the temperatures and adjust the cooling to suit, and it varies from circuit to circuit and from driver to driver, so we have to keep a pretty accurate check to make sure they're working at their best.
So each color goes off or burns at a different temperature?
Yes, it vaporizes and burns off at a different temperature so that we can control exactly the temperature the discs are working at.
Must be a nice thing to know.
Sure, yeah, that's right.
Even the most proven systems are under constant development in Formula One racing. For the latest state-of-the-art in making Formula One cars stop, we talked to Team McLaren's Steve Nichols, the only American engineer currently in Formula One. McLaren International has the most experience with the second generation of discs. Steve, could you tell us a little bit about your system?
Well, our system uses discs that are made out of carbon instead of cast iron. It's a new material that's been developed in recent years, and the main advantage of it is that it's much lighter in weight than the normal cast iron sort of discs that most of the cars use.
What about their ability to actually stop the car? Is that better?
Yes, they actually stop the car quicker because they have a higher coefficient of friction, so they get better bite initially. They're less susceptible to temperature-related problems because they actually work better and better the hotter they get. These brakes work, operating temperature out on the track is maybe 700 degrees centigrade, where a cast iron brake operates maybe 450 to 550 degrees centigrade.
The mechanic